Hey guys, welcome to our Health 110 Summer session. Um, as you know, you've signed up for our online summer course now, and so that can be pretty intense. So please make sure that you've read my emails. I've sent a couple out so far that just discuss the keys to success for this class, okay, and things like managing time and just prioritizing and really setting the time each day or each week where you're committing to this class. The coursework's not difficult at all. In fact, a lot of it will just be a review for you. Some of it will be new, and some of it is more relevant now as you're at different stages of your life than maybe it was when you received this information in middle school and high school. But it is a lot of work, again, because we're cramming 16 weeks of work into 8 weeks. So just prepare yourself for that kind of mentally. Um, you'll find that I'm very easy to work with and pretty flexible, and I think I'm extremely fair in our grading practices. And in fact, typically, the class average in my health or PED classes is somewhere between a 91 and a 94. So I work with you. I just ask that you work with me by completing assignments on time each week. All right, so just hopping in to kind of the gist of the course. You'll see the course description here. Typically each week I'll create a video just to highlight the topic for the week. Typically the video will be 2 to 3 minutes long, and that's it. Trust me, nobody wants to listen to a long video. But this week, naturally, it's going to be a little bit longer just because I'm kind of giving you the overview for the course. So each week I'll send out a reminder for announcements. So really, guys, there's no way that you could fall behind in this class because I send out reminders each week. If you happen to miss a due date, I'll just shoot you an email reminding you to get that in. And when you take your quizzes, you'll have multiple attempts on that quiz to get the grade you want. So again, I set this class up for your success. Part of it is that this information is relevant and it's real life. And so I just want to make sure you're getting the content. To me, it's not as much about holding you accountable in terms of the grade that you get. I want to make sure that you're going back and getting the knowledge that you need because, again, this stuff applies to everyday life. And for some of you, you'll leave this course, hopefully for all of you, with just a little bit more knowledge or maybe even some enhanced or improved behaviors that will lead to overall health and wellness. Okay, with that being said, it's very important that each week, and you'll find I'm a creature of habit, so each week's almost identical. You'll have the exact same routine, but that really makes it easier for you to kind of stay on top of things. So each week you're going to want to click on every link inside the section that we're working on in Moodle for that week. Okay, I have it set up as a checklist, and so every time you click on something, then that's going to give you, it's going to show that you participated in that activity for me. So that's how I monitor your class participation, which is 40% of your grade. It's a huge part of your grade, and your attendance. So again, it's as simple as clicking on the link. There may not be anything there for you to submit. It may be a video to watch. It may be a short article to read. But you'll need to click on every link in each section. Okay, so each week I'll send out the announcements like I said. I'll do a video each week. I'm not going to go over the course syllabus here for you. Just remember the attendance policy. That's the big thing. For online classes, attendance is based on your submission of work that's due that week. So for example, by June 1st, you see you've got these 2 sections to do. If you haven't done that by June 1st, when I enter the attendance on June 2nd, that means you're absent that week. And remember, missing a week of a summer session, that'll put you way, way behind because we're doing 2 chapters a week. Even this second week, we're doing 3 chapters in a week. So you can't afford to miss any work at all in the summer session. So just stay on top of things. Those 8 weeks will fly by. Also, though, if you do happen to miss a week, please just kind of skip that week, do the work that's due for that current week. So not the week that you were absent, but the current week, and then go back and do the makeup work because the attendance is based on work completed for the current week. Okay, I hope that's not too confusing for you. Again, in the core syllabus, just pay attention to the attendance policy. That's the big thing. If you miss 2 consecutive weeks, I'm required to drop you, and if you miss 2 consecutive weeks, that means you've missed a quarter of the class. So it'd be almost impossible to catch up from there just because of the amount of work. Again, it's not difficult, it's just a lot. The number one priority you need to do when after you watch this video, of course, is complete the enrollment verification activity, and if necessary, the student orientation. if you don't complete that by the census date, which is Friday the 29th, so they don't give you much time. You've got like 3 days essentially to complete this. It's really short. It's simple. Um, then I'm required to drop you from the class also. So please make sure you complete that as soon as you watch this video. In fact, that should be the very first thing you do when this video ends. Pay attention to the attendance and the withdrawal statement. And then you'll see here the orientation checklist. That's the only thing that you wouldn't have to click on each week. I encourage you to, though, because it shows you what you've completed and it shows you if maybe you've missed something. There'll also be a bar over on the side of your screen that will show you if you've completed everything. So your bar should be completely filled if you've completed all the activities. If you haven't completed all the activities, you'd see some white space. So you don't want to see any white space in that bar. So this top section is pretty simple. You read the announcement, which you should have received the email for. You watch the video, review the course syllabus, and complete the enrollment verification activities and orientation. And then and then you also read this statement. All right, now we're kind of getting beyond that. So that's day one, first things you need to do. Now we're hopping right into our course introduction. So of course this is an online course, but it doesn't have to be completely impersonal. I like to know who I'm working with, and I hope you do too. It's just working behind this computer screen, especially now with our COVID situation. It seems like everything's virtual and online, and so we were definitely losing kind of that personal touch, and I don't want that to be the case for us. So I just ask that you complete this Padlet. You see here just a little bit about me. I won't read it to you. You can take a look at yourself, and then you'll see another picture of my family here. It's me, my son Bryson, my daughter Jaden, and my wife Denisha. And of course, I love them dearly, and so I have them up here also. And so just a quick 2 or 3 sentence blurb about who you are, and so we know who we're working with as we spend these next 8 weeks together. And really 9 weeks because we get the 4th of July week off. Right then, inside this first section, you've got a video, watch something new for 30 days, another video by Dr. Oz, and then it goes over how to access MyLabs Plus. So you have a couple options for your textbook. I recommend only doing the online or e-text with the access code to MyLabs Plus because that will save you quite a bit of money. I realize some people like to have that paper textbook in hand, so feel free to get that. It's available at the bookstore, but really you only need the online code. Each week you will have a lab that goes with that particular chapter. You'll notice, and don't get confused by this, all of the labs have a due date for the end of the year. So like July 29th, whatever the last day is. However, listen carefully here. Your lab is due on the date that that chapter is due. So for your MyLabs Plus for Chapter 1, see Chapter 1 is due June 1st. In MyLabs Plus, it might say it's due July 29th. That's not the case. So your labs correlate with the due date that you see here. Just be mindful of that. Don't let that confuse you. Okay? So I've left this up. Notice it says hidden from students. You won't see all of this yet. But I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of what we'll be covering this year. You see the different topics. It's very important that we understand that health isn't just about our body and our weight and working out and diet. There's so much more to it. We really emphasize psychological health and stress management. I think sleep is an area where all of us could, or most of us, could do a little better. Naturally, we'll talk diet and exercise some. But then also we get into body images and weight, addiction and drug abuse, social relationships, sexuality, contraception, and reproductive organs. And then we get into kind of the infectious diseases, non-communicable diseases, but diseases that are certainly have a high impact on our society, but that also, despite maybe some genetic predispositions for us, we have a lot of control over these things also. So if we understand that maybe any of these conditions run in our family, then this chapter really tells us how to take control of that and prevent you from having to experience that. Then consumer health, just being wise as a consumer. And finally, personal safety and injury prevention. So you see a lot of topics. You see 15 chapters over an 8-week span. And so, again, it's quite a bit of coursework. All right. And so one additional thing for this first week, you'll have your Chapter 1, Health in the 21st Century. So your keys for every week, complete all the listed assignments for this chapter. It says read the chapter and review the PowerPoint presentations and monitor your checklist and grades. That's very, very important. Make sure each week you're monitoring your checklist and grades. The grades update automatically when you submit something, and so you should see your grades in real time. You'll have a PowerPoint that you can use for your quiz, so that's something else. Use your book and your PowerPoint. I'll let you use all your resources on your quiz, so there's no reason, no excuse for you not to do well in this class. And you have like 3 attempts to correct questions that you've missed for the quiz. So everyone should end this summer session with an A in Health 110. It just requires you to put forth a little bit of effort, and again, it's time consuming because it is a lot of work. All right, well, that's about all that I have for you for this week. I know it's a lot. I'm at 11 minutes on the video, which is entirely too long, but I do want to give a quick recap. So the video you're watching now, review your syllabus, complete the enrollment verification activity and orientation if needed. Come down and I'll review the attendance and administrative withdrawal statement. Then you'll complete the Padlet. You'll watch a couple videos. This is just instructions on accessing MyLabs Plus. You'll go to MyLabs Plus to complete the first introductory lab, and then you'll go into Chapter 1. So from Tuesday, which is our first day, the 26th, to next Monday, June 1st, you have quite a bit to get done, because then you'll hop right into your first chapter in the textbook. You won't have to watch a video. I'll remove that since I've done this intro video. You've got the PowerPoint that you'll use for your quiz. You'll complete your lab, and then you'll monitor your checklist just to make sure it's completed for all of these sections. Now, one final thing. In MyLabs Plus, it's very important that each week inside that section you click on that link. So although, you could click on it one time and go in and complete all of your labs. In fact, you'll see all the labs through Chapter 15 are available right now once you get in there on that first day. However, your checklist isn't going to give you credit for it for that section unless you literally go in and click the link for Chapter 2, Chapter 1, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, so forth and so on. So you'll have to each week click on your MyLabs Plus link to make sure you get credit for it over here in the checklist bar. All right, guys, I've rambled enough. I hope I've kind of given you a good heads up as to what to look forward to with the session. I'm available and respond pretty quickly by email. I'm never on campus. I'm an adjunct professor that just works online. I'm actually a principal at South Edgecombe Middle School. And so with that being said, though, I'm around the computer a lot. So if you have any questions or concerns, shoot me an email and you'll hear right back from me. Guys, stay safe, take care, and I look forward to a great summer session.